whisper down the line at 11:39 when the night mail's ready to depart.
Saying, Skimble, where is Skimble? Has he gone to hunt the thimble? We must find him or the train can't start.
All the guards and all the porters and the station master's daughters would be searching high and low, saying, Skimble, where is Skimble? For unless he's very nimble, then the night mail just won't go. At 11:42, with the signal overdue and the passengers all frantic to a man, that's when I would appear and I'd saunter to the rear. I'd been busy in the luggage van.
Then he gave one flash of his glass green eyes and the signal went all clear.
They'd be off at last to the northern part of the northern hemisphere. Say that by and large it was me who was in charge of the sleeping car express. From the driver and the guards to the bagmen playing cards, I would supervise them all, more or less.
Down the corridor he faces and examines all the faces of the travelers in the first and the third. He establishes control by a regular patrol, and he'd know at once if anything occurred.
He would watch you without winking, and he knows what you are thinking, and it's certain that he didn't approve of hilarity and riot, so the folk were very quiet when Skimble was about and on the move.
You could play no pranks with Skimble Shanks. He's a cat that cannot be ignored. So nothing went wrong on the Northern Mail when Skimble Shanks was aboard.
It was very pleasant when they found their little den with their name written up on the door. And the berth was very neat with a newly folded sheet and not a speck of dust on the floor. There was every sort of light, you could make it dark or bright, and a button you could turn to make a breeze. And a funny little basin you're supposed to wash your face in, and a crank to shut the window should you sneeze. Then the guard looked in politely and would ask you very brightly, do you like your morning tea?
Weak or strong?
But I was just behind him and was ready to remind him, for Skimble won't let anything go wrong.
When they crept into their cozy berths and pulled up the counterpane, they all would reflect it was very nice to know that they wouldn't be bothered by mice.
They could leave all that to the railway cat, the cat on the railway train. In the watches of the night, I was always fresh and bright. Every now and then I'd have a cup of tea, with perhaps a drop of scotch while I was keeping on the watch, only stopping here and there to catch a flea. They were fast asleep at crew, and so they never knew that I was walking up and down the station. They were sleeping all the while I was busy at Carlisle, where I met the station master with elation. They might see me at Dumfries if I summoned the police, if there was anything they ought to know about.
When they got to Gallowgate, there they did not have to wait, for Skimble Shanks would help them to get out. And he gives you a wave of his long brown tail, which says, I'll see you again.
You'll meet without fail on the midnight mail, the cat on the railway train.
Janet and John go on a steam train. Today, Janet and John are going to have a ride on a steam train. Johnny's very excited. See John put on his puce Versace overalls and leather cap. While Janet is driving to the station, John is bouncing up and down in his seat, making train noises. Can you make train noises? Well, neither can John.
No, come on.
At the train station, Janet goes to get a cup of tea and some Tizer for John.
There are other soft drinks available, of course.
John sees Mrs. Bickerdike. "Hey up, Fluffy Whiskers," says Mrs. Dyke. Mrs. Bickerdike is from Yorkshire. See Geoffrey Boycott. Mrs. Bickerdike says, "Are you driving the train today then, Johnny?" And John shakes his head. "Well, let's have a word with the driver. I used to fettle his throttle through Great when he were a lad." See John look confused. See Mrs. Bickerdike talking to the train driver. "I've sorted it so you can ride with the driver." "Thank you, Mrs. Bickerdike," says John. Soon Janet comes back with the drinks. John quickly gulps his down and tells Janet he's going to ride with the driver. "In that case," says Janet, "I'll stay here in the craft shop." Sensible Janet. See John climb up next to the train driver. Mr. Moncrief, the driver, says, "We have another helper today. This is Mrs. Perkins from the post office." See John smile. Soon it is time to start the train. See John and Mrs. Perkins shovel coal into the engine. See the hot flames and the steam. Mrs. Perkins soon has to take off her cardigan. Mr. Moncrief stops the train to pick up another carriage and shows John and Mrs. Perkins how to attach it to the train. Mr. Moncrief lets Mrs. Perkins sound the whistle 3 times as they go into a tunnel. What fun! See John taking photographs with Mrs. Perkins' camera. Soon the train journey is over. John thanks Mr. Moncrief and jumps down from the train to find Janet. He sees her buying a croquet set. "Do you know how to play croquet?" Janet does. "Hello, Janet," says John. "I've had a lovely time on the train." "Did you?" says Janet. "Yes, it got ever so hot, so Mrs. Perkins had to take off some clothes. We worked up quite a head of steam between us, so Mr. Moncrief watched us when we pulled into the sidings and practiced coupling. And then I took some photographs when Mrs. Perkins pulled his whistle 3 times on the way home." See Janet staple John to the lawn with croquet hoops. Do you know what a powerful backswing is? Janet does.
Uh-oh.
Poor John.